I'm where I am today in this role because I failed in other positions. Or at least trying to seek out other opportunities. I put myself out there and tried to become a director of other park districts, but that led me here, and I got to realize what was important to me.
Welcome back to the Live at the Hive. My name is Janice Jokkel, your host today, and I am super stoked to have our next guest. He is the epitome of community connectors here in Medina County, and I cannot wait for you to hear his story. Nate, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell our viewers, what do you do? You got the coolest job in the county, by the way.
Well, thank you. I do have a cool job. My title is Director of Medina County Park District. What I like to say is that I'm helping to preserve what people love about Medina County, because that's really what it comes down to. We were established in 1965, so this is our 60th year.
Wow.
Or next year will be our 60th year. We're planning for that right now, our anniversary. But just since since 2019, we have acquired 1,200 acres to bring us up to 8,300 total. We have hundreds more under contract. And again, we're trying to preserve those wild, special, resource-rich places before it's too late.
And so how do you acquire those properties?
Well, that's part of the fun and part of the challenge. We have received a few donations in recent years and a number of donations throughout our history. But just in my time with the Park District, I started in 2018. We received our largest ever gift of land in terms of acreage. That's 203 acres in Westfield Center and Westfield Township. December 5th of 2023, we accepted a 44-acre gift near Chippewa Lake. And sometimes the gifts come in smaller packages, but they're strategic acquisitions. Other instances include, maybe folks not donating land to us, but they're giving us the gift of time. So instead of closing on a property in 60 or 90 days, it's not uncommon for us to get 18 to 24 months to acquire a property, which allows us to go after a number of grants to offset our local contribution. Okay,
good. So there's a recent project that you are working on, or I don't know where the progression is, but you bought or was gifted a house on Route 18, and there's collaboration going on there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is a project, you're referring to the Brown Trump Homestead.
Yep.
It is right next to Medina Hospital, and a lot of people know it as the sheep house because they remember traveling down 18 and seeing sheep grazing on that hillside by the hospital. That is one of those things we never could have planned for, but in January 2 years ago, I got an email from an attorney who said, we are settling an estate. There's this property next to the hospital. It comes with a financial gift. It has to go to a nonprofit. What would the Park District do with it? You have 30 days to give us a proposal. So that's one of those, we have to vet that opportunity because it could be lost forever.
Right.
And it was, we had maybe an hour there, I'll never forget, on Groundhog's Day of 22 to actually look at the brick Victorian home, look at the grounds. And then we had like another 3 weeks to figure out what we would do there. And in part out of self-preservation, but also looking at community impact, we realized that we couldn't take on that project on our own, no matter how significant the gift may have been. And so we started to look at ways that project maybe could benefit other organizations. And what we came up with has resulted in the largest recovery farm of its kind in the entire country.
Wow.
It has eyeballs on it throughout Ohio and throughout the Midwest. And our partners include Hope Recovery Community. There's a home on the property that houses 12 men, and they do service hours on the property, taking care of the animals, tending the garden, mulching the beds, etc. Everything that's grown there, that's produced there, the property cannot be used for commercial purposes. But last year, in the very first year of the garden, in 2023, Hope Recovery donated almost 1,000 pounds of vegetables to Feeding Medina County.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Very cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah. And then the Historical Society has also been very helpful, the Medina County Historical Society. So we're partnering with them on the brick Victorian house. We have used some of that financial gift already to replace the roof, gutters, do some masonry work. But now the Historical Society folks are going to put me in touch with some contractors who specialize in plaster and wallpaper, so we can kind of bring the interior back to what it once was. And our goal is to start in 2025, have 1 or 2 open houses every year where the public can come in and see the farm, see the brick home, and see what an amazing resource this is for the community. It's not a typical park site. You don't have trails there. There's not daily access. But I think a lot of people enjoy knowing that the Park District is preserving the property, preserving history, and making the community better in a different way than they might be used to.
Sure, because it definitely, so what I thought was the coolest part about that story is that you were like so tenacious, like you were going to get that opportunity and you were going to collaborate amongst some really strategic people in our community to make that happen, and you did it. And it was to watch that evolution. Colleen Rice from Leadership Medina at the time was sharing with me about that whole, because her class was the first to go through that class before that actually went through. And so, you acquired the property, and I think they walked, I don't remember the details. Doesn't matter. All I remember is I remember that whole journey that you were going on, and what a leader. I looked at you as like, wow, you are such a powerhouse leader in this community, because you took an opportunity and you were like, 30 days, I'll never make that happen. You took that and in 30 days made it happen, and made it happen in a really big way. And that is, to me, that was like the best. That was just an aha moment for me. Is, you didn't allow that opportunity to not be something that could be preserved, because it could have went a different way, right?
Well, it had to go to a nonprofit.
Right.
So I have to acknowledge our nonprofit organization that benefits the Park District. It's Friends of Medina County Parks.
Okay, got it.
They received the property, so they hold title to it. The Park District acts as the stewards, manages the relationships and everything that's going there. And then the Friends received the financial gift. So they're actually paying, not taxpayers, they're paying for those repairs on the home. They'll be paying for repairs to fences, etc. But 30 days. But we wanted to be a part of that.
Sure.
We wanted, and I have to, like I said, I have to give credit to the Friends and Hope Recovery and the Historical Society and Feeding Medina County, because it was a wild idea.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I'll never forget, and it gives me chills, and when I share it with people, it often gives them chills too. This project was meant to be, and we were all meant to come together. And here's how I know that. So Stephanie Robinson from Hope Recovery, she established that organization. She's the director. She had a conversation with the Adam Board back in very early 22. The Adam Board funds Hope Recovery. And they said, okay, Stephanie, what do you want to do next? What's your dream? And she said, I'd really like a farm. And 24 hours later, I was reaching out to the Adam Board to say, hey, we have this opportunity. Do you think there's interest? Like,
that is not a coincidence.
That is wild, right? So, again, I believe it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of work.
Yeah.
But all credit, on the ground so far, that absolutely goes to Hope Recovery and the people they serve. They're volunteers from Feeding Medina County. I mean, it's those folks that have made it really happen.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah. So what is your next big project? Can you share with us what you're working on?
Sure. We have a few big projects, and people often ask, well, how do you juggle it? And it's, well, we have a lot of spinning plates. I have a lot of Post-it notes and a lot of reminders on my calendar. But when you're working on fun things like this, it's easy to go into work every day and to get excited. Yeah. So 2 of the big projects we're working on, our Chippewa Lake, restoring the former amusement park, which closed in 1978, and sat for more than 40 years. We have money from the H2 Ohio program through the state to do restoration there. I'm hoping that it begins by the time maybe this airs. So we have until the end of June of 24 to complete the restoration part.
Oh, okay.
And then we will immediately move into the design of public access improvements.
Okay.
So I want to be under construction with parking and trails in 25.
Wow, okay.
The next pretty big site, in addition to some multi-purpose trails and some nature preserves that we're opening, but one that will get a lot of visibility is one that we're calling the Shotwell Gardens at Lake Medina. So the Shotwell family is well known here in Medina, and they donated over about 5 years. They donated 25 acres at the corner of Foot and Weymouth Roads, right next to Lake Medina, which is a county park. So they have helped us go through a kind of a conceptual planning, and we're going to begin the actual design and engineering of public access improvements this year. Hope to begin construction in 25. But that'll become not only a much needed third entrance for Lake Medina, but it will include an accessible trail, some garden space with native plants, either a 3-season or a 4-season programmable small facility, porch swings, great views of the park, and again, then provide much needed additional access to Lake Medina. So the Park District's thrilled to be working on that. The family is super excited, and I know when we've shared those plans online, it got quite a buzz.
Good. No pun intended for Medina.
No, it was intended. It was.
Good. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So as we conclude our show today, we always end with words of wisdom. What words of wisdom would you like to share with our viewers today?
Put me on the spot here.
Yes, I am.
I guess I would say to keep trying. I'm where I am today in this role because I failed in other positions. Or at least trying to seek out other opportunities. I put myself out there and tried to become a director of other park districts, but that led me here, and I got to realize what was important to me. Staying in Northeast Ohio, finding a community where I can make a difference. Medina County has 183 residents, but it is a small town. And I love what we're doing as an organization. So stick with it, keep trying, and don't be afraid to roll up your sleeves. That's served us well, the Park District, for nearly 60 years. And we've been tenacious, but good things are coming out of that.
Good. Wow. Yeah. I needed to hear that today.
Oh, good.
So until the next time, until we have the next community connector here live at the Hive, we really appreciate you tuning in to us and watching our series every single week. And until then, toodles.
Armstrong is proud to support the community and local businesses. As an Armstrong Business Solutions customer, the team at the BizHive supports their community through Armstrong's high-speed internet connection and reliable service. Watch Armstrong Neighborhood Channel on Channel 100 or visit Armstrong Neighborhood Channel on YouTube.